Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome to another video brought to you by Total Control Traders. Due to internet outage, today's video is going to be out a little bit later, and had errands to run yesterday, so making a makeup video today. And it seems like today is better to do it anyways. Yesterday was just an inside bar day. Anyways, let's get right into it. We got a few tickers. Gonna try to make today's video a little bit shorter so that it gets out on time to you guys. Thank you for all the new subs. I see a lot of you are enjoying the new setup video, so thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing, sharing our channel, everything. All right, let's get into it. SPX. So what are we looking at? SPX yesterday was an inside bar day, and today we were looking at an inside bar day until the end of day bearish action came in. Now so this is an example of what you can expect from our trading chat room. Sorry. This is an example of what you can expect from our trading chat room. Early on today, I had said market red flag to every single member. And one of the things I discussed was every single pop. Where did that message go? Nope. There we go. Choppy day today with pops being sold off and dips being bought. So that is a big red flag early on in the day. Let's take a look here. 7:30. Where is that? 7:30. Pop sold off. Pop sold off. And then dip bought again. And then it sold off again. So it was a choppy market. And what I was tracking here intraday was the short-term trend line. We saw multiple rejections. One rejection, closing over it, and then unable to see follow through, immediately sold off. Another rejection here, and then we saw early on today at 10:30 Mountain Standard Time. So I think it's what, noon, 12:30 market time. We saw another rejection from that area, and then into the rest of the day it was huge bearish action on increasing bear volume to end the day. And the key for that I was looking at was a bear break. Ultimately, this was a bear break comparing to yesterday's candle, and that is very key because now we're broken down under the 4-hour for the first time, and as well as the 8 hours, we did close just under it. So we are seeing a little bit of a bearish action now. So where are we expecting from here? This is coming to that higher low that we've been expecting for addition to our bull positions. Now, the one thing to be aware of, however, is there's a potential, okay? There is a potential for this being an ABC correction, meaning A is down here, B, and then C, we could see lower prices to come, bringing us down to this GP down here. So we did ultimately hold that 0.5 on the A. If there's an ABC correction, we're going to be looking down roughly about here as a first target for that ABC. The reason why I say there's a potential for this ABC, because ultimately when we look on the weekly chart, this is a weekly bear divergence that was playing out, seeing a huge bounce so far, lack of follow through on that weekly bear divergence, which is great for the bulls. So personally right now I am still anticipating just a higher low, but do understand there is potential for that weekly bear divergence. We're gonna have to see where this is coming out, how strong the bear is gonna be. We are seeing low volume overall on the bullish side and the bearish side, both for the last couple days now, last few days. First target I'm looking at is this 0.382, roughly lining up with that already support. It's not a strong support. It's not a strong support resistance by all means, okay? So there's resistance here, support here, and then slight rejection over there, chopping around. So not a strong support by all means. But first target, we'll be looking down at the 0.382, lining up. Does it line up with the GP? Or, sorry, the 88? It does not. So it's below the 88. Anyways, that would be the first target. Following that, I'm not seeing too many strong supports. 0.5 doesn't really line up with anything. There is some supports over here, resistance over here. So 0.5 might make sense. And then GP is the lowest that the bull is going to want to see. Ultimately, what could happen is, let's do a, am I on the right time frame here? Nope, doesn't look like it. Oh, that's why. What I had drawn here before was this trend line instead, and this is what I'm looking at for that confluence area. Trend line backtest, as well as minimal support resistance, as well as 0.382. That's the one confluence area I'm able to find. Depending on how you draw the upper trend line, you could say GP is over here, but that's going to require a huge, fast drop. So first target is going to be that 0.382. Now let's take a look at NAS, other indexes. One thing very interesting is the strength on Dow continues, okay? And NAS is not, by all means, not the strongest. Let's take a look at this 8 hours. 8 hours, NAS unable to get past that, this platinum? Yeah, platinum zone. And we are seeing a rejection from there again. Multiple resistances, strong area of resistance. There's no support from upside yet, but there is multiple rejections from this area. And actually, probably can draw a key zone here now. A shorter key zone. You can see multiple rejections in this area. Even this wick, that's a rejection too. So from here, NAS is a little bit weaker. But ultimately, I'm looking at potentially entering FNGU for bullish plays because the ticker is under that triple leverage bullish play. Most of them are looking fairly good. We'll get into that. And the next one is Russ. Russ seeing one of the strongest bearish action today. Okay. It was a very nice bounce, one of the strongest bounce percentage-wise, and then now we're seeing the strongest pullback. Ultimately, we're unable to make it over the GP, so now we're seeing a pullback. Would anticipate somewhere around the GP, it would be the lowest, the higher low that we're looking at before it bounce the next leg move up. And let's take a look at Dow. Woo! Look at Dow, 8-hour 8 holding, the only one that was so tempted to confirm this 8-hour bull flag. Versus all the other charts, you know, bearish action. Dow hasn't even broken the 8-hour 8. Has it broken the 4-hour 8? Let's take a look. Chopping around the 4-hour 8. So, clear sector rotation going into Dow. One thing very key to note. Okay, now let's do a quick market dive, even though we're going to do a short video. So, is this a weekly bull divergence on the US dollars? So far, looking at weekly bull divergence on US dollars. So that's a little bit concerning for the market. US 10-year yield, bear break, a little bit concerning for the market. But this is a further leading indicator, so it might take some time for this to play out. And we're just rejecting from this previous support resistance anyway, so we're going to take some time for this to see follow through. Next is VIX, seeing a pop here. Previous support resistance area. Lots of rejections, and now we're seeing a bounce today. Let's see if we get that follow through on VIX tomorrow. I'm currently in a VIX play, just more so as a hedge, reduced bull positions, including this hedge. So I'm very comfortable on this pullback. In case that we do see follow through and trading over that 88, would think about adding to the positions. Next one is Bitcoin. Whoa, look at that. So trendline confluence area. Okay, we lost it, bounced from the key zone, back test this trend line, and now we're seeing bearish follow through, rejecting. Didn't even touch that 88 actually, but ultimately the 88 is the guiding us down on Bitcoin right now. Okay, let's get into the hottest stickers. First one always is gonna be Tesla, and I'm gonna remove Tesla from that thumbnail now. Just always gonna cover it. Anyways, so Tesla, bearish action, widely anticipated rumor of stock split on today. A lot of people were playing bullish going into yesterday, but decided to skip it because it's, you know, when the whole market is looking one way, what does the market tend to do? Look the other way. Make sure you look the other way if everyone you know is anticipating one direction on whether it's a specific stock or a market as a overall. So Tesla, we are seeing bearish follow through. I was looking at a lotto yesterday, 1,000 daily lottos. Oh my goodness, that thing turned out to be like what, 5 times? $2 yesterday, closing at like $12 or $15 or something like that. Anyways, huge bearish action today. There is potential still for that split because a lot of people were anticipating for the split to be confirmed at the open or after hours yesterday. But hey, what if it's after hours today or at the open tomorrow? You know, so there is still potential of the lotto play over here. Let's take a look at what happens tomorrow. It is increasing, not increasing, sorry. Bearish volume outweighing bullish volume after decreasing bullish volume. Okay, rejecting from that 88, rejecting from that support resistance. Upon the loss of this, I would anticipate another touch on this lower trend line. Right now, this is the long-term descending wedge that we've talked about. This, I would anticipate that there's going to be some sort of reaction around the lower trend line if we're to get there again. And next one is Apple. Still extended on the daily, but that 88 is catching up. Blue skies, no reason to sell. Woo! Apple, one of the strongest charts out there. Today is somewhat, maybe, depending how you look at it, could be a reversal candle. But look at that bearish volume, no push down. There's still a lot of buyers on Apple, remaining bullish on it as long as that 88 holds. As mentioned, backtest of the previous all-time high, 88 hold, dip down, gap down, immediate buy up, and then 88 hold and continuation. No reason to sell. Ooh, 1 to 2 extension coming up. 177.27 is the 1 to 2 extension target from based on back here, the low to the high to the higher low. And next one is T. We're going to switch it up a little bit here. Talk about a couple of tickers we've never talked about as the hottest ticker. Now, the interesting thing is, Trivago? Yeah, Trivago is, even though it's not a huge bull move off of this key zone here, but the notable thing about it is there is relative strength in this chart now. Now let's take a look at the longer time frame. This is very interesting. Could be a weekly, monthly higher low over here. Long-term guide down to all the way to the low of 1.3, 1.25. Providing that strong weekly bull divergence. Okay, 5 cents lower, RSI going higher. Look at that huge pop. What is that? 400%? I hope someone played this. Oh, I hope someone played this. 370%. Whew. Imagine if someone played option on that. Whew. And that was how long? This was November 2nd. January. Oh, this is way back. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at weekly. Sorry. 12 weeks, 370%. And now we're coming back down, forming that potential weekly higher low at the key zone. We are seeing bullish action over here again. And does the fib bring us to any significant levels? No, it doesn't really line up with anything. We did lose that 0.786. So give it a little bit more time. What you want to see is that daily reversal first. So this is a red flag on Trivago. Daily reversal, higher high, straight into lower low. So we're going to watch for that potential daily bull divergence on here. So far, I just like the chart as overall, monthly. It is a long-term grind down. So as long as, is there a trend line up here? Maybe there's a trend line up here. Once it breaks, then that's the go signal. Let's take a look. 588. Don't like that. Don't need this one anymore. Let's redraw this. Okay. So rejection. We're gonna have to draw this a little bit lower. Maybe to the high of that day. That would make sense. Almost there. Yeah, so let's set an alert on this trend line. If this breaks, when this breaks, I would anticipate follow through on this ticker, Trivago. Next one, SFIX. The reason why Trivago made it to the hottest tickers is ultimately it did see relative strength to the market today. So SFIX. Hey, there's the upper trend line over here too. Very clear upper trend line. Some chops around, try to support it, and then break down again. Why is this strong over here? Okay, so I can draw this lower then. I don't like how it doesn't touch back here. I mean, there's probably different ways to draw this, so you can make the chart a little bit better, maybe over here kind of a thing. Nope. Okay, I like this a little bit more. More so than the other way of drawing it, at least. So we are not using the top on this one. Just do be aware of that. Multiple rejections. This is going to be a key trend line to break. We are in some common positions based off of this daily bull divergence so far. We are seeing follow through today, which is great. Biggest bull volume ever yesterday, ever, including IPOs. Look at this. Biggest bull volume ever. All these were bear volumes, and we are seeing follow through today. We're going to need to see follow through ideally for another day or two, making this RSI a little bit higher just to confirm that daily bull divergence. So SFIX looking fairly decent. Next one is Facebook. Facebook ultimately closed based on in comparison to today's open, it was green, but in comparison to yesterday's close, it is red. And ultimately, we are rejecting from that GP. Look at where it touched. Holy! Did I draw this wrong? I think I might have drawn this wrong. Let's redo this. Oh, just over GP. Okay, so just over GP. Daily bull divergence played out, and we're rejecting from GP. Now we're going to look for that daily higher low before an actual trend reversal. Facebook is looking good for continuation. At least, you know, let's see. That's a lot of work to be done after that in order to get that daily trend reversal. So we're going to watch for where that daily higher low comes in to determine how strong the chart is looking. But Facebook so far looking so good. Next one is requested tickers. Airbnb. ABNB. Look at this strong bullish action on Monday. Huge bullish action. This was 11, almost 12% move. And from here, we're seeing a top out at about 187, double top 187.50, and we're seeing a pullback. So this trend line is still seeing some work over here. The short-term trend line, multiple bounces from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, multiple bounces from there. Slight support over here, and then another rejection. So after we lost it, immediate backtest rejection, holding the GP, coming back up. Tried to hold that trend line, but we lost it today. Ultimately, we are holding the daily 8 on Airbnb. This is constantly, at least for now, it's always on one of my top charts. And the reason for that is we are still trading over that daily 8. This, to me, daily bear divergence, this to me is decent follow through, but we held the GP. Okay, that is very key that we held the GP. From here, if we were to form a daily higher low, what I can see is strongest would be the hold of 177 over here. We could see a revisit of this top of the key zone before another leg move up. But Airbnb, I really like the chart for higher low add. Next one, we talked about Apple. Zillow. Nice follow through on the bounce. Is there a daily bull divergence? It's not so clear over here. So we did close slightly lower. So very slight daily bull divergence that's playing out. And rejecting from the top of the key zone. No follow through so far. Let's watch for that daily higher low. It's a very similar idea. Zillow, huge drop from the top. Now if we were to do a most recent, let's do a most recent first. One thing at a time. We're not going to draw it from the top. Right, so upon the bounce, the actual higher low being formed and this chart reversing, we're going to need 68.74 for that daily trend reversal, and then from there I can see a minimum of the bounce to 72. Upon the break of 68.74, what I would anticipate is going back up to fill this gap at the top of the key zone where it lines up with GP. So over the longer term, Zelos, I really like how bullish the chart is going to be. Is looking, low risk entry kind of a thing. $84, from what we're trading at today. Ooh, that's a 37% move. Next one, what do we have? Amazon. How can we forget about Amazon? Oh, it closed under that 88, hey? It was holding the 88 the whole day, all the way until the end of the day. Closing market, lost at 88, closed at the low of the day. Now, let's see, move this over. 0.5. Lines up with his previous resistance, support, almost lines up. Doesn't line up perfectly, but 3,444. That will be what I'm looking at for most ideal higher low before a reversal, breaking over this trend line. So as of right now, and on the break of this long-term trend line, multiple rejections, that will be the play. Whether it's options, commons, whatever you want to go with. But Amazon, as you guys already know, will always remain on top watch. I'm watching for that long-term double fake out pattern to play out. Next one is Roku. Roku, is this bearish engulfing? Open to 35.96, close to 35.09. So ultimately, it is a bearish, almost a bearish engulfing. It did not break below yesterday's low of day, but this is a huge red flag. Very nice move off the bottom. Very minor daily bull divergence playing out, and then immediately sold off into Roku. I would anticipate at the very minimal a gap fill to this high of 220.54. Opportunity should arrive somewhere there, but you also gotta keep in mind that Roku, there is another gap down below at 210.33. And next one is JPM. Really like this chart. If you're looking at what to play in this kind of bearish market, finance sector is going to be one of the best. And the reason why JPM, I want to discuss this. I don't think we ever looked at the chart, Now there's two trend lines. There's a short-term channel back here, and then this is the upper trend line of the channel. We saw multiple rejections, and then we saw support as we broke over. Okay, and then this is an immediate back test, and then this is a actual back test of this trend line. Then we saw another gap down, bouncing from that trend line, aligning up with the key zone, and then we're seeing another bounce here now. So this is what I'm anticipating. If we're unable to make new all-time high on this leg move up, there's a high potential for a head and shoulders pattern. And if that's the case, then this is likely what's going to play out. Going to be some short opportunities in there. First reaction we're looking for is around that GP key zone, lining up with the key zone, and then by all-time highs. And next, last but not least, how can we forget Lucid? GP coming up. Oh, they did a financing. I think they did a financing after hours yesterday. So there was a trend. There was a chance for the bulls to reverse this trend, trading up above the 88 today, but they decided to do a financing. So in all honesty, that makes me lose trust in the company a little bit, because the smarter companies generally, they do financing up here. They don't wait for a downtrend and then do financing to beat down their own stock a little bit more. But ultimately, what I'm looking at here is that GP hold tomorrow. If the market continues to be bearish, I can see this coming down to revisit this money line, which is not going to be ideal. But there's going to be huge opportunities coming up on Lucid. Volatile chart, aka a lot of money can be made on this chart. Lucid, GP, support, resistance. Yeah, rejection back here, support, slight support over here. Not too strong of a support resistance, to be honest. Ultimately, you could call this a key zone kind of a thing. But yeah, let's watch for that GP reaction tomorrow. All right, so that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoy the content. If you know anyone who can benefit from the videos we share, the content we provide, please consider sharing our channel with them. Very much appreciated. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.